So I'm back with part two of how to find joy and how to find joy, how to improve your relationship with your spouse, your wife, and how to have joy and fun after age 75. And as I said in the first video, I've got 22 different points I'm going to talk about. This is John Hauser with my grumpy old toad mug. And I'm here today to talk to you about finding joy in your marriage with your spouse after age 75. Let me preface this here. The story all started in 1969 when I went to Texas. I met my wife. And here we are now at age 75 going on 76. I know it's hard to believe. Tell me I don't look my age. I still have a lot of hair. I got a little bit of gray. But yes, I am 75 going on 76. We'll be 76 here very soon. I have the advantage that my wife is actually 27 days older than me. She turns 76 in June and I'll turn 76 in July. So for all these years, I've told her that I married an older woman. Okay, so in the first part of the first video, I talked about finding joy and happiness in your marriage after you're retired. And I talked about how you have to allow each other time and space. Yes, we love to spend time together. We watch old movies together. We take walks together. We go to church together. We do a lot of great stuff together. I have a little convertible Mustang, which if you watch some of my videos, you'll see the Mustang. It's a convertible. We'll put the top down on the Mustang, and when the weather's nice, we'll go out and sometimes we'll go out in the evening and just drive around for an hour or two and go get a hot dog or go to Krispy Kreme and get a donut. All that stuff that's not good for you, right? But we do that sort of thing. It's fun. But you have to allow each other time and space. Now, another thing that's important is maintaining a good attitude. Maintaining a good attitude. When I get tired or if I get overly tired, yes, I get grumpy, just like it says on the big old mug, grumpy old toad. And my attitude always goes downhill. But after a good night's rest, my attitude comes back up. So it's very, very important for husband and wife each to maintain a good, positive attitude. We went to church with our oldest daughter when we were out in Texas, and the pastor that Sunday morning in the course of his sermon talked about people who were married and were having some difficulties. And he said to the husband and wife, he says, you each are to sit down and make out a list of things that you like about your spouse. Now, these people were getting counsel, so they weren't happy. But he said, you've got to sit down and make out a list of things that you like about your spouse, and don't let your spouse see the list. And every day for the next 7 days, go over that list and try and add to that list things that you like about your spouse. And the pastor said, we'll get back together in 7 days and continue the counseling. And I hope I'm telling this story correctly, but here's what happened. The husband and wife who were thinking about splitting up, after they started making out a list of things, they'd been married a long time, a list of things that they really liked about their spouse. At the end of 7 days, they called the pastor and say, well, I think we've patched it all up. Because they made out a list of things that they liked about their spouse, and they realized there were more good things than there were bad things. So here's a suggestion. Make out a list of things about your spouse that you like. And then go over those things with your spouse. Now, here's one thing that I like, and my wife may not watch this video. She doesn't watch all of my videos, but one of the things that my wife does for me, which is absolutely a great thing, is I got up this morning and she said, what would you like for breakfast? And I said, 2 eggs over easy with bacon would be nice. And she said, absolutely. And before I knew it, she had me 2 eggs over easy, properly seasoned. I mean, she even knows how to have the proper seasoning, and 2 pieces of bacon, a hot cup of coffee, and a piece of toast, and raspberry jam for the toast. What a great breakfast. And my wife, if she is home that morning, if she's not out with some friends or if she's not at church, she will make me breakfast. Recently, she made me these blueberry pancakes. So my wife's got some great habits that make me happy, and one of those happy things is a good breakfast. And she's a good cook, and she's all the time trying new recipes, and she's experimenting on me. And I hope that the experiments all work with all this good food. So anyhow, we talked about allowing each other to have space and time. I'm going to talk a few things about some of the things that my wife likes, and you may find that your wife likes some of these things too. My wife likes to go to lunch. If I say to my wife, let's go to lunch, she gets all excited about that. She's all excited about that. Make sure I'm on the right page here. Yep, I'm good. I'm flipping the page. My wife likes to go to lunch. I take my wife to lunch 1 to 2 times a week, whether she needs it or not. If she doesn't need to go to lunch, I still suggest to her, hey, would you like to go to lunch? Do you know that she almost never refuses? I can't remember a time in the last year where my wife has refused to go to lunch. If I'm out doing a little bit of Uber, because I Uber part-time and I do other things part-time, just fun stuff. If I call her and I say, what are you doing? And she'll generally say, well, I'm doing the laundry or I'm cleaning the house or something. And I'll say to you, would you like to meet me at, and I'll name the restaurant, and I'll say, would you like to meet me for a cheeseburger? And every time she said, oh yes, I'll be there. What time? What time? Or I'll say, would you like to meet me at Olive Garden or Panera Bread or Highway 55 or Beston Burgers? We go to a variety of places, Chinese food and everything. And one of our favorite restaurants is a ways off, because we used to live in North Raleigh. We now live in Wilson. So it's about 50 miles. But sometimes, about once a month, we'll go to the Imperial Garden, which is in Greystone Village in North Raleigh. Excuse me, it's on North Six Forks Road in Leadmine, up in that area. Greystone Village, Imperial Garden, Chinese food. She loves it. So these are some of the things that I do that I keep in mind that she likes. Susan loves to cook. And she loves to cook. She loves to get in the kitchen and try these new recipes. And she's all the time watching these videos on Facebook and YouTube about these new recipes. And then she'll say, I think I'm going to try and make this. I'm like, okay. And every time it comes out really good. She'll try some kind of a steak, I don't know, the Salisbury steak, and different types of chicken recipes. I don't even know what they're called. All I know is they're really good and they taste good. She makes these casseroles and she'll cook it in the crock pot, but Susan loves to cook. And I like to eat. And I have to watch my weight. Let's see, let's talk about some of the other things. Susan likes to sleep in. There's a lot of days when she won't have anything scheduled, and she likes to sleep in. So I'll get up and take the puppy outside. And if you haven't seen our puppy, we have some videos on our YouTube channel. You can see our little puppy. Her name is Millie. And I'll take Millie outside and watch Millie chase the squirrels. And I'll let Susan sleep. And I'll let her sleep as late as she wants, because we are retired. And one of the advantages that you have when you're retired is you go to bed when you want to go to bed, and you get up when you want to get up, and you go to lunch when you want to go to lunch. There's no set schedule. That's the nice thing about it. That allows me to have the freedom to do my hobbies. My hobbies are, this is one of them, a YouTube channel. My other hobby is Uber. I only Uber a little bit. I have people all the time say, Oh, I hear all these horror stories about Uber. I don't have any horror stories to tell because for me it's been a good experience. But I only do a little bit. eBay, I've sold stuff on eBay and Etsy and Poshmark, and I've sold stuff at the yard sales. Those are my hobbies. Uh, Taking care of that Mustang I've got. These are all just little hobbies that I have, and being retired, it gives me the time to do it. Let's talk some more about Susan. Um, Susan reads her Bible just about every day. My wife has quiet time with her Bible every day. As I said in the prior video, here in our home, she has a room that is her room. She has her stuff in there, her books, her videos, her computer, her diamond art. My wife is an artist. She does diamond art. She has a clarinet, and she plays the clarinet. That's one of the things we did early on when we retired. We retired was to give each other space. Space, the final frontier. Gave her space. She has this room. It used to be a bedroom. We sold the bedroom furniture, and now it's her room. But she likes to read her Bible. She sits down and reads her Bible every day. Probably knows more about the Bible than I do. Susan likes to. Susan likes to talk to our grown children. They don't live close by. So we have a son that lives in Oregon. We have a daughter that lives in Texas, and our other daughter, third child, second daughter. We only have 3 children. The third child lives in Florida, and Susan, by phone and sometimes video call, will talk to these grown children almost every day. And our oldest daughter is going to be 56 next month. Our son is going to be, let's see, how old is he going to be? I can't remember. Maybe 53 this year. And the youngest daughter will be 48. 2 grandsons, one's 30 and one's 31. But she loves to talk on the phone to our kids. And I mean, sometimes she's on the phone for an hour or 2 with these conversations with our grown children. And I don't mind. So, to find joy in retirement, husbands and wives need to know that they need to know that they need to know each other. Oh, that's hard to say. You got to get to know each other. As I said in the earlier video, when we first retired, because of our work schedules that we'd had for about 8 years before we retired, we didn't hardly know each other. So we have to get reacquainted. So it's very important that you get to know your spouse the way you should know your spouse. That way your spouse will know what you know, and you'll both know the same thing. Let's see. Oh, here's a good one. Husbands. In the Bible, in Ephesians chapter 5, it says, husbands, love your wives. Husband, love your wife. Now, we're both over 75, but still, you're going to want to love your wife, and the wife wants to love the husband. You don't stop loving each other just because you got old. If you want to stay young, stay in love. Love your wife. Date your wife. Date your wife. Take her to the mall. Let her do some shopping. Take her out to eat. Take her to visit friends. Take her on trips. Date your wife. Get her a card. Every now and then send her a text message that she wasn't expecting. Just date your wife. Don't date somebody else's wife. Date your wife. That's important. Okay, you'll be happier. Remember birthdays. Remember anniversaries. In other words, we're trying to make each other happy. We're finding joy, happiness, and peace in our married life. Every now and then, let each spouse, husband or wife, buy the other person. Oh, we went out to eat a while back, and it was Valentine's Day. And I took my wife out to eat for Valentine's Day. We went to the local pizza shop. And while they're sitting there eating the pizza, she pulls a card out of her purse. She gave me a Valentine's Day card. She gave me a Valentine's Day card. We're talking about finding joy and happiness in your senior years. And we're over 75. We're in those last, and I hate to say it, but the story's going to end someday. Someday the story will end. And we got to make the best of it while we can. Here's just a few tips for marriage. Stay out of debt. Don't have any debt. If your house is paid for, if your cars are paid for, enjoy each other. Stay out of debt. We don't go to the movies anymore because the current movies are just too vile, too corrupt, too woke. So what we do is we watch an old black and white movie on the internet, like YouTube or Tubi. There's a lot of great old movies that were made before 1970. We recently watched one with John Wayne where they're over in Africa. I think it was called Atari or something. But we watched those old movies together. Let's see. Spend time together, but allow each other to have free time. And the last point that I will make on this video right here, which is very, very important. And again, I've known a lot of couples that are our age, older and younger, that act like they don't love each other anymore. But it's very, very important that you continue to love each other, because the cold, hard, harsh reality of it is that when your kids grow up and start their careers, they're gone. I mean, even if they live locally, you're not going to see them that much because they have their own job, they have their own house, they have their own family. Or if they're like our children, if we want to go visit them, we have to fly or drive. We got one in Oregon, one in Texas, one in Florida. You've got to stay in love with each other. I think I got off the point here. What was the point? Stay in love with each other. Be nice to each other. If you get into that mode or that mood that you just don't feel good about your spouse, sit down like the pastor said and write down everything that you like about your wife or husband. Everything that you like about your spouse, write it down. And if you're not satisfied, write everything down that you don't like. If there's something about your husband or your wife you don't like, write it down. Do the old Ben Franklin. Draw a line down a piece of paper and put over here the pro, put over here the con. Or you can put the good and the bad. And you can start out and say, here's the good that I like about my wife. And write everything down that you can think of. And then here's what's bad about my wife or husband. And write down all the bad stuff. Get it all on paper where you can see it. And after a while, you begin to realize there's more good than there is bad. And you'll begin to realize why you got married all of those years. And I realize that my wife and I we have been married longer than many people have been alive. But we are working every day to be happy. Today, which is Monday, I forgot the date. It's Monday, and today my wife is going to visit her friend Holly, and she is I'm going to do a video on having a younger friends, but we have younger friends, and she has this friend. Her name is Holly, has 2 children, and Holly is only in her mid-30s, and yet Holly and Susan are great friends. They'll spend several hours together today. And I'm going to hang around the house here and do some home things. And one of the home things I like to do is to make these videos. So I think I better say thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. If you have any comments, go ahead and give me some comments. I know I'm not talking about anything overly controversial. I do make a video once in a while about something that's controversial, but in these 2 videos, I wanted to talk about how to find joy and happiness in your marriage after age 75. But all of these things apply to even being younger. We were working on these same things when we were 60. We were working on these same things when we were 50 and 40. And through the years, we have taken walks and talks. We've walked and talked. We've done bike rides. We've done trips. every now and then I'll say to my wife, let's just go to the beach. And we'll drive down to Wilmington, North Carolina. We'll go to our favorite restaurants. My wife has a favorite restaurant. We'll eat one meal in the German cafe, and then we'll eat another meal at Chili's or one of those restaurants, you know. And anyhow, that's enough for this video. Please like and subscribe, and there were some points left on my notes. I may make a follow-up video, but this was video number 2. If you haven't seen number 1, go back and watch number 1. And I'd greatly appreciate it if you'd like and subscribe. Thanks much. Oh, I'll just shut her off now.